It has been another busy week in the world of cruising, with more delays and further cancellations from the major cruise lines announced this past week. Making the list are Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, and Virgin Voyages. Don't worry if you missed the updates because we have you covered. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and here's a look at all the major cruise line cancellations and return to service. When Carnival Cruise Line made its announcement back on May 4th regarding a further suspension of cruising for the brand until August 1st, we knew it was only a matter of time before the other cruise lines followed suit. Still though, Carnival Cruise Line's return to service plan is the most comprehensive to date. Carnival's plan includes a phased rollout of the fleet, with sailings initially only on 8 ships from Miami, Galveston, and Port Canaveral home ports. Further, all brands under the Carnival Corp umbrella, including Princess Cruises and Holland America Line, have canceled all Alaska, Europe, and Canada New England sailings for the remainder of 2020. New this week, Norwegian Cruise Line was the first to make an announcement on the morning of May 20th. In this long-anticipated announcement, Norwegian Cruise Line extended the line's global suspension of cruising from June 30th, 2020 to now include all voyages embarking through July 31st of this year. Guests who are impacted by these recent changes will automatically receive a $125 future cruise credit, which can be applied to any new cruise up until December 31st of 2022. Additionally, guests who decided to rebook using this future cruise credit by May 31st will receive an additional 20% off the booking cost. For guests who wish to receive a refund, they must submit a refund form between June 8th and June 19th of this year. These guests should expect to receive their refund within 90 days after submission of this request. Norwegian Cruise Line also recently updated its peace of mind policy. The cruise line is extending it to include all cruises through November 30th of 2020. Cruisers now have the ability to book a cruise knowing they have the flexibility to cancel up to 48 hours prior to the sail date for any reason. A 100% future cruise credit will then be issued that can be applied to any other cruise through the end of 2022. Many cruisers were expecting this further delay given the ongoing implications of the pandemic. Still, Norwegian Cruise Line has not released any further details regarding its Alaska cruise season or Europe sailings. It appears that currently NCL still has plans to offer Alaska cruises on Norwegian Bliss, Norwegian Joy, and Norwegian Jewel during the shortened Alaska season. Further, Norwegian Cruise Line has not given any indication to its plan once cruising resumes, despite some speculation by the president of Norwegian Cruise Line Holding, Frank Del Rio, in recent interviews. We still do not know what protocols will be in place on board the ships or how the return to service will be approached. Coming in on the heels of Norwegian Cruise Line's announcement, Royal Caribbean also released a long-anticipated update to its cruise suspension. In this press release, Royal Caribbean further suspended cruising until August 1st. This extension to the global pause in cruise operations also applies to its sister brand, Celebrity Cruises. Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises had previously canceled all sailings through June 11th, 2020. Now, the new expected return to service date of August 1st coincides with competitor brands, Carnival Cruise Line and Norwegian Cruise Line. However, for Royal Caribbean, China sailings are an exception as they are only suspended through June 30th of 2020. As with the previous cancellations, all guests impacted by this recent update will receive a 125% future cruise credit to use on a cruise departing prior to April 30th, 2022. Cruisers will need to rebook before December 31st, 2021. This future cruise credit will be issued automatically by June 30th. However, if travelers would like a refund, they will need to submit a request and should expect to receive payment within 45 days of that submission. Additionally, cruisers that purchased any cruise planner items have the option to receive 125% of that value in future onboard credit or a 100% refund. Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises did not provide any additional updates on Alaska or Europe sailings for the remainder of the year. On an earnings call this past week, Royal Caribbean leadership did touch upon its Healthy Return to Service program. This program will have 4 components. First, it will include upgraded screening prior to boarding, as well as enhanced processes and procedures on board, a special focus on addressing the destinations, and procedures for dealing with any reports of exceptions. Further, Richard Fain was quoted as saying that he didn't expect this is going to be that someone blows the horn and all the ships start operating right away. He further went on to say that he thinks it will be a gradual start, a little bit like societies opening up gradually. While this implies a phased rollout of fleet operations, Royal Caribbean has yet to put anything in writing as Carnival Cruise Line has done. Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises also updated their Cruise with Confidence policies earlier this month, along with a few other supplemental policies to encourage new bookings. The brands are significantly extending this Cruise with Confidence cancellation policy all the way up to April 2022. Now, guests will have the ability to cancel their cruise up to 48 hours in advance of the sailing and receive 100% future cruise credit. This new policy applies to all existing reservations as well as any new reservations that are made before August 1st, 2020. Further, the cruise line is also implementing a temporary lift and shift policy. This option allows cruisers to simply switch their sailing to a future sailing by selecting a future cruise with the same itinerary and stateroom category. Guests can keep the same price and promotional offers from their current cruise. The new sailing has to be within the same time frame of the existing sailing, but does not have to be on the same ship. Finally, perhaps the most surprising announcement has to do with Virgin Voyages. The day after Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruise Line made their announcements, Virgin Voyages also released a statement announcing that Scarlet Lady's inaugural season has been further delayed. Amidst all the initial cruise cancellations due to the global pandemic, Virgin Voyages made the decision to push back the inaugural sailing for Scarlet Lady from April 1st, 2020 to August 7th. Now, Virgin Voyages has made the decision to postpone sailings on the ship through October 15th of 2020. Now, the first cruise on the ship is scheduled for Friday, October 16th. Richard's birthday bash sailing has also been rescheduled for July 14th, 2021. First-time canceled sailors will automatically receive 200% future cruise credit for the amount paid towards their voyage. As a further incentive to rebook now, sailors can receive up to $500 of onboard credit based on their stateroom category if they rebook by June 30th. Of course, if guests prefer a refund, they can contact the cruise line to request it prior to December 31st, 2020. For sailors who have already received a 200% future voyage credit due to a previously canceled cruise, they have the option to keep it for a future booking or request a refund. In addition to the refund for the full paid amount, sailors will still receive a 25% future voyage credit. Similar to other cruise lines, Virgin Voyages also announced its Smooth Sailing program. This program will give sailors greater flexibility and assurance when booking a cruise. Now, final payment will be due just 60 days prior to the voyage. Additionally, sailors will have the ability to cancel up to 48 hours prior to the cruise and receive 100% future voyage credit. This policy is currently in effect for cruises through December 16th of 2020. And there you have it. That's the most up-to-date account of the major cruise lines' cancellations and cruise delays. But of course, we'd love to hear from you. In the comments section below, let us know what you think of the major cruise lines' plans to resume cruising. I'm DB from EatSleepCruise.com, and if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel or you've been lurking around for a while and haven't done so, what are you waiting for? Make sure to subscribe down below and to click the notification icon. That way you get updated each week when we put out a brand new cruise video. You can also say hi to us all over social media at Eat Sleep Cruise, and thanks again for watching.